Welcome back to the Michael D. Show in the Beyond Publishing Studio from Bangkok, Thailand. I'm so excited about our next guest today. He's best-selling author Tony Hill. His book, The Millennial Wave in the Scheme of It All. Tony, welcome to the Michael D. Show. How you doing today?
I am very well, sir. Glad to be here. So glad to be here.
Well, we've been talking for some time about the importance of this book. Why the millennial wave? Why is this something you're so passionate about now? And who is going to benefit most from the millennial wave?
Well, that's a very good question. And I'm grateful that you asked that. But I take you to my page 195 in the book, take you to a quote from one of my great mentors, who, of course, is going on to be with the Lord. I'm pretty sure everyone would know him. But it says, true leaders don't invest in buildings. Jesus never built a building. They invest in people. Why? Because success without a successor is failure. So your legacy should not be in buildings, programs, or projects. Your legacy must be in people. And that's by Dr. Miles Monroe. And I quoted that because that describes my whole reason for writing this book. And it's about legacy. My
Oh,
whole
that
goal and my whole purpose and aim, Michael, is to bring people back to the understanding of what God intended for from one generation to the next generation. And it all began, of course, back then in the book of Genesis. But I think we've strayed away from that, and that's what my book is all about: is bringing that awareness back to the people, to the forefront of the people's hearts and minds. And it's about legacy, leaving a legacy, one generation from one generation to the next generation.
I love that. And you're doing that in the millennial wave and the scheme of it all, available everywhere now. Books are sold. You asked the question, Tony, are you one in a position of leadership and influence who desires to become well acquainted with the largest generation in the history of the world? Would you like to know the part you play in drawing this unique crowd to your influence? Tony Hill, your book, The Millennium Wave, you answer the call for us. Those of us who came before the millennials are now calculating our endowment, our inheritance, our place, our worth in society. They are not a generation forgotten, nor should they fall between the cracks of life and ignored. This generation that you write about is sure to rise. They are our future, the last day generation. Our call is to be their wisdom. I love that, to guide them into the millennial
Yes.
reign. As it is for us, so too is their destiny. We are their modern day Joshua. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh, that was inspirational there, Michael. Because as I was putting the information together, it was just God Himself just inspired, just dropping all of these things into me. And I've done a extensive study. I have a degree in Christian studies, and one of my classes dealt with prophecy, the fulfillment of prophecy. Prophecy. A very well-renowned, and he's going on to be with the Lord, Dr. Irving Baxter. He, End Time Ministries, he talked quite a bit about the fulfillment of prophecy according to the word of God. And one that he was talking about came from the book of Joshua, about this one generation, the old generation that came out of Egypt when God delivered them out of Egypt. They all died off. And
Yeah.
that left the next generation, this younger generation. And
Yes.
so I equate that and to the millennial wave, this book, and bringing people's attention to how important strategic God is from one generation to the next. So that's kind of what inspired that dialogue when I began to write about that. Is bringing the people awareness to how important this generation is.
Well, your book really passes the baton to the next generation. We have an epidemic of fatherlessness in North America and around the world, and your book really empowers leadership. What is the millennial? How do you define a millennial or a gen, these different generations? There's a lot of confusion around that.
Yeah. I like to try to bring some clarity to that, because it varies from one writer to the next. But from Generation Y, which is also millennials, is typically born between the ages from the years of 1981 to 1996, not ranging now in age range from 28 to 43. And I write about that as I'm looking on my book right now. It's on page 189. So I did kind of some bites and bits and pieces on each one of these generations. So millennials, yes, between the years of 1981, 1996, ranging in age from 28 to 43, is the makeup of the millennial generation. You know, they use a span of 15 to 20 years between the next generation, you know, and so that's where this particular generation it falls. They fall right into that category. So yeah, those are the millennials.
The Millennial Wave in the scheme of it all. Tony Hill, your book is a bestseller. Congratulations on Amazon. Available everywhere books are sold. Not only Amazon, but Barnes & Noble, Walmart.com, Target.com, bookshop.org, eBay, around the globe. Now, I know you're speaking everywhere. You're taking the stage. You're on podcasts. You're speaking in churches. What's the main topic you speak about when you take the stage or a podcast microphone?
Yeah, legacy. If I can sum it up in one word, legacy. You know, I
Yeah.
believe God distinctively spoke to me. This is a few months back, Michael, and that's what coming into this new year. That's what inspired as I was concluding the rest of the material for the Millennial Wave, the second edition, still at it. He dropped into me. I said, "Well, you know, he just dropped at me while I was writing the next book, and it's all about the legacy, and this is what he spoke to me." So that's what my platform, whenever I have an opportunity, that's going to be the subject of my platforms everywhere that I go, about legacy.
Well, people are raving about your book everywhere. Shauna B says it's a great read, great biblical references. As a millennial and a mom of four, I believe this book is a great representation in and of the millennial generation. It gives practical examples of how the baby boomers and millennials should be working together, not against each other. I recommend this book because if you're a parent, a youth leader, or someone of influence or mentor, it's going to be valuable insight and practical implementation for the next generation. So, Tony, great reviews like that, the hardcover, the paperback, the ebook, everywhere books are sold. What's the best way for a podcast host or a pastor, somebody that wants you on their stage in front of their microphone, to get a hold of you?
Well, several other ways. Of course, on Instagram, TN Hill 410, TN Hill 410. That's my Instagram. And then, of course, on Facebook, simply Tony Hill. And then my email address, they can, of course, get in touch with me directly through my email, thilllegacy@gmail.com. thilllegacy@gmail.com.
Everywhere books are sold, the Millennial Wave, depending on when you watch this. Tony, congratulations for going #1 on Amazon. And grab the ebook now during the free promotion to take your book #1 on Amazon. But the algorithms are working in your favor because people are buying the book, they're
Yes.
downloading the book, they're sharing the book. What's some of the feedback you're getting from people that are reading the book and giving you feedback?
Well, I'm getting great raves, and so they was kind of making some noise, telling me. I was talking to a few friends, and they just saying, "I can't wait, I can't wait." I said, "Well, I can't wait either, but we gotta wait." So I'm getting great reviews and just raves about the book and the material, and that's the content is what's important to me, Michael. Of course, we have the exterior of the book, which is nicely put together, the interior of the book, but the content, to me, it really tells me that this was worthwhile. So these are the kind of reviews and raves that I've been getting, Michael, about the content. And I mean, that's just to all glory to God for that.
Oh, glory to God. Well, I tell you, it's about legacy. It's 222 pages. What are the chances of that, right? Expanded and updated content, edition #2. Tony, I know you've got more books coming out. And what's the final word you want to leave with people? I want to say it's been so fun working with you. The team at Beyond Publishing just thrilled and excited about this book. We just had the Bangkok Book Show and 1.3 million attendees. So we're so excited to feature your book next year at the Bangkok Book Show and around the world. What are some closing thoughts you want to leave with readers and followers?
Well, you grab a hold to the copy, but one thing I want to inspire others who have so much in their heart to share. So I have to give a plug in to Michael and Beyond Publishing here. because you got that in your heart. You don't know how to get it out. And who do I go to? Well, I just want to recommend Michael. I want to recommend Beyond Publishing for one thing, because he's helped me to shape and to get this book in the format that's, of course, appealing. But the expertise of his staff, I think, is what makes it so worthwhile in setting up something with Michael. It just spending a little bit of time with him. So really, that's what I wanted to say. I want to make the appeal to those who are writers, who are potential writers, and have had in their heart that I want to write a book, but I don't know how to go about doing it. So I want to introduce to you Beyond Publishing.
Well, thanks for the kind words. It's been a blast working with you. And I learned something new today is we have the same mentor, the late Dr. Miles Monroe. I'm an alumnus of Oral Roberts University, and so he was a dear friend and mentor to me, and we lost him way too soon, but such a prolific author and statesman and
Yes.
orator of the gospel. So thank you, sir. Very excited about Millennial Wave. Grab it now and follow everything Tony's doing, and exciting things coming 2025 and beyond from Tony Hill. Thanks for being with us on the Michael D Show, where we catch up with authors around the world that are making it happen and creating impact and creating legacy. God bless you. And thank you very much. Follow Tony Hill for all things Millennial Wave. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, sir, for having me on.